Hello everyone, welcome to the channel. So today we are going to start the second chapter of our chapter wise spectrum revision series through MCQs. Now all of the MCQs that have been prepared in this chapter are taken from the chapter second, that is India on the eve of British conquest. Okay, now if I talk about the first chapter, the video is already uploaded on the channel. The link to that video will be available in the description of this video. Okay. Now, before starting the chapter, let me give you a brief idea about the second chapter, that is the India on the eve of British conquest. So, the most important point was, why did the Mughal Empire decline? But before that, let me tell you what was the condition of India when there was the British conquest. First of all, let us see the external factors, the external condition of India at that time. First of all, Nadir Shah attacked India. Nadir Shah attacked India in 1739 during the reign of Muhammad Shah Rangila, and the next external invasion was done during the time of Ahmad Shah Abdali. Now this Ahmad Shah Abdali, from the year 1748 to the year 1767, he attacked multiple times. Okay. Now on the other hand, if I talk about the internal outlook of the India, so internally there were the weak set of the Mughal rulers. Now these two, external and internal, both were one of the important factors of the decline of the Mughal Empire. Now, if I talk about the weak successor, first of all, some of the weak successor and the important work which was done by them was, first of all, I would like to tell you about the Jahandar Shah. So, during the tenure of Jahandar Shah, he abolished the jizya system, and secondly, he introduced a technique of revenue collection, revenue farming, which was known as the Izara system. Okay. The next set of weak ruler constituted of Muhammad Shah Rangila. Now I've already told you Nadir Shah attacked during the reign of Muhammad Shah Rangila, and he killed the Sayyid brothers. Muhammad Shah Rangila killed the Sayyid brothers with the help of Nizamul Mulk, and it was during the tenure of Muhammad Shah Rangila when the independent state rose. These independent states I'll tell you later in this video. Next weak successor was Alamgir II. Now during the reign of Alamgir II, the battle of Palasi in the year 1757 was fought. Next weak successor was Shah Alam II. Now during the reign of Shah Alam II, battle of Buxar, and then third battle of Panipat in the year 1761 was fought. Now in this battle of Panipat, Ahmad Shah Abdali successfully defeated the Marathas. Okay, the Marathas were defeated in the third battle of Panipat. Next set of weak rulers constituted of Akbar II. Now Akbar II, Mughal coins that were issued from a longer period of time were completely stopped, and secondly he gave the title of Raja to Ram Mohan Roy. Okay. Now, these were some of the weak successors, so they did not sustain for a longer period of time. Next important factor was the Aurangzeb's religious and Deccan policy. Now, the religious policy of Aurangzeb antagonized the Rajputs, it antagonized the Sikh, the Jats, and the Marathas, and the Deccan policy kept the emperor away from the capital for a longer period of duration. So Aurangzeb's Deccan expedition proved to be a big failure for him. Okay. So this was also a factor that led to the decline of Mughal Empire. Next was the deterioration of army, as the financial crunch heightened at that time. Slowly this led to the deterioration of army. Then there was vast empire. It was very difficult for the weak rulers that I've already told you about. It was very difficult for the weak rulers to control this vast empire. Next, external invasions I've already told you about. Muhammad Shah, during the tenure of Muhammad Shah, Nadir Shah attacked India, and then Ahmad Shah Abdali also attacked India. Then there was economic decline. Why? Because there was endless wars, there was stagnation in the agriculture, and there was decline in the trade. The trade also declined, which led to the economic decline of the empire. Okay. Next was the Jagirdari crisis. Regional aspirations also rose. For example, independent states like Bengal, Hyderabad, and Awadh, these rose into prominence, and some of the successor states were the successor states. Independent states also rose, and then obviously there was an advent of the Europeans that we have studied. Portuguese came first, then came the Dutch, then Danes, then English, and then at last French came. Okay, now let us now see about the regional states. Now the regional states were of three types. Successor states. Successor states were those states that were earlier the part of Mughal Empire, but at a later stage they got separated. Now Hyderabad in the year 1724 was founded by Nizam ul Mulk. It was founded by Nizam ul Mulk, and other name of Nizam ul Mulk was Kilij Khan. Then came the state of Bengal, which was established in the year 1717 by Murshid Quli Khan. And then the state of Awadh came into prominence in the year 1772, which was founded by Sadat Khan. And other name of Sadat Khan was Burhanul Mulk. Okay. Now, if I talk about the chronology about the Bengal rulers, first of all, the founder I have told you about, Murshid Quli Khan. After Murshid Quli Khan came Shuja Uddin, then came Sarfaraz Khan, and then was Alivardi Khan. Okay? This is an important chronology of the leaders that you need to know. Now some of the independent states also came into prominence. Mysore was founded by Hyder Ali, and later the son of Hyder Ali, who was Tipu Sultan, carried on the work that was done by the Hyder Ali. Okay. Next was the state of Kerala, that was founded by Martand and then also Rajput states were formed. So which were the Rajput states? So the Raja Savai Singh of Amber, he also founded an independent states. Now if I talk about some of the new states, so Marathas were there. The Sikh Empire was founded under Ajit Singh. Then also Jats were there. Now Jat state was founded by Churaman and Badan Singh, and later state, the Jat state reached its efficiency at zenith under the leader Surajmal. Okay, and then Afghans were also there. Rohila Khan, the state of Rohila Khan was founded by Ali Muhammad Khan. So this was all. Now, if I talk about the socio-economic condition, what was the condition of agriculture? So the agriculture was mainly stagnant, and technologically it was backward, and the peasants were under a great load of the revenues. Okay, the peasant paid revenues to the state, they paid revenues to the zamindars, they paid revenue to the jagirdars and revenue farmers. Although major crops that were produced were rice, wheat, sugar, pepper, spices, etc. These were the crops that were produced. Now if I talk about the trade and industries, the trade at that time flourished, but during the later stages of the Mughal Empire, after the death of Aurangzeb in 1707, the trade also declined, but at the earlier stage the trade flourished. So the cotton, textile, raw silk, silk fabric, indigo, saltpeter, opium, rice, wheats, these were the matters that were exported. And some of the imported products were gold, musk, woolen cloth, copper, iron, lead, porcelain. All of this was imported. Now if I talk about the education, the elementary education was imparted through pathshalas. The Hindus studied at pathshalas and the Muslims studied at madrasas. Okay. Next was there was absence of science and technology, and geography was a general feature at that time. If I talk about the society, यहाँ पे point लिखना मैं भूल गया. If I talk about the society, so apart from the four varnas that were there, the Hindus were divided in many subcastes such as Kayast, etc. Muslims were also divided by the concentration of caste, race, etc. So the societal division was prevalent at that time also. If I talk about the art and culture, Asafuddollah is credited to construct Lucknow at Lucknow, which is known as Bada Imbabara. Raja Savai Jai Singh built the Pink City of Jaipur and 5 astronomical observatories in different part of India. So where were these observatories? तो दिल्ली में ऑब्जर्वेटरी थी, उज्जैन में ऑब्जर्वेटरी थी, बनारस में ऑब्जर्वेटरी थी, मथुरा में थी, and one more city was there, Delhi, Jaipur, Mathura, Delhi, Jaipur, yes, Jaipur, obviously. So these were the 5 observatories that were established by Savai Jai Singh. Okay. Now the Tamil poetry at that time was adorned by the sitar poetry. Also the growth of Urdu language was there in the northern pockets, and some of the famous Urdu poets were Mir, Sauda, Nazir. These were some of the famous Urdu poets. Okay, and regional language also developed in a large scale. So now let us straight away move to the MCQs and solve the MCQs of this chapter. Yes, let us start with the first question now. This question is: arrange the following events related to the challenges faced by the Mughal Empire in the chronological order. Now, if we see the correct chronology here, so the first option is Nadir Shah invasion of India and looting of Delhi. So the invasion of Nadir Shah is very famous. So first of all, I would like to tell you that if you want to answer this question, you can just pause the video, just try the question, and then listen the explanation part. Okay. So let us start. Now the Nadir Shah invasion of India and the looting of Delhi. Now the invasion of Nadir Shah is really famous in the context that the invasion was made in 1739. Now in this year he defeated Muhammad Shah, who is also known as Muhammad Shah Rangila, okay, because of the various reasons that were there, okay. And despite invasion he won obviously, and Muhammad Shah was defeated. Nadir Shah is also known to loot Delhi. He looted Delhi, that is mentioned here. And the next point is he also took away the peacock throne and Kohinoor diamond from India. Okay, so this invasion of Nadir Shah happened in the year 1739. Okay, now let us see the another option. Ahmad Shah Abdali defeated the Marathas in the third battle of Panipat. Now the third battle of Panipat happened on January 14th, 1761, in which Ahmad Shah Abdali defeated the Marathas. Okay, now why did Ahmad Shah Abdali defeated Marathas, and why was there the third battle of Panipat? It was because after the Nadir Shah, the next successor was made at Ahmad Shah Abdali. So the Ahmad Shah Abdali was the next successor. Okay, but Abdali never took control of India, and he appointed a caretaker Afghan to look into the matters. Now, next, this caretaker was Najib-ud-Dawla, and ultimately the Maratha chief Raghunath Rao, he was expelled. Raghunath Rao expelled the Najib-ud-Dawla from Delhi and he captured Punjab. So this was the reason, as Ahmad Shah Abdali appointed Najib-ud-Dawla as the caretaker Afghan for the region of Delhi to look over the things that were being done by the Mughals. So this agitated him, and ultimately Ahmad Shah Abdali came to India, and the third battle of Panipat was fought in the year 1761. Okay, now as I told you, Nadir Shah ka invasion happened in the year 1739. Next thing I already told that ki Nadir Shah ka immediate successor tha Ahmad Shah Abdali. So Ahmad Shah Abdali was recognized as the successor of Nadir Shah. This happened in the year 1747. Now ultimately after this, in the year 1758, the Raghunath Rao expelled Najib-ud-Dawla from Delhi and he captured Punjab, and ultimately in the year 1761 was the year when the third battle of Panipat was fought. Okay, so I have explained you the story, I have explained you the chronology. I hope you will be able to relate the things now. Now what should be the correct order? The correct order should be first, then fourth, first, then fourth, दो options में है, then came the third, and then second. So A is the correct answer to this question. I hope you have understand all the underlying concepts in this question. Correct answer हमारा यहाँ पे A हो जाएगा. ठीक है. Let us now move to the next question. This question is based on the assertion and reason. What is the assertion? The Farooq CR 1717 Farman gave the British East India Company important privileges that strengthened their trade position in India. Now, these farmans, the Farooq CR Farman, these farman was a type of Magna Carta for the English to expand their influence among influence in the India. Okay, now if I talk about the Farooq CR, so Farooq CR was a famous ruler. Why he was famous? Because he killed Jahandar Shah. Farooq CR killed Jahandar Shah with the help of Sayyid brothers. Now you need to know about the two brothers that were also known as the kingmaker during the medieval era. These two were known as kingmaker. What was the name of the Sayyid brothers? The first brother was known as Abdullah Khan, and the second one was known as Hussain Ali. These were the two Sayyid brothers who were known as kingmakers. So these Sayyid brothers, combining with Farooq CR, they defeated Jahandar Shah, and ultimately Farooq CR came to the throne. Now in the year 1717, the Farooq CR also issued Farman, an important privilege that given important trade positions in India to the British East India Company. Then let us see the reason. These farmans allowed the company duty-free trade in Bengal, Bihar, Odisha, creating a trade imbalance detrimental to the Mughal economy. So this is absolutely true, as we know that in the medieval era and in the later medieval era times, these farmans that were given, some of the type of trade duties, dastaks, which were the trade passes, these were issued to the East India Company. So these were massively used. These were massively used by the British East India Company to gain a leverage against the Mughal Empire. So these farmans ultimately led to the detrimental impact on the Mughal economy. These were not at all beneficial for Mughal economy, as they slowly degraded the finances of the Mughal. Okay, so both the reasons here, the assertion also is correct and reason also is correct. A is the correct answer to this question. Other than this, Farooq CR से कुछ important terms भी हैं. For example, Farooq CR is known for its he is known for his religious tolerance. Also, he abolished jizya, and he also abolished pilgrimage tax. Okay, he also abolished pilgrimage tax. So these are some important things that you need to know. Let us now move to the next question. Now this question is question number 3. Which of the following were the consequences of the Sayyid brothers' dominance during the Mughal decline? Now I already told you the name of the Sayyid brothers. The names were Abdullah Khan and Hussain Ali. Okay, now next is the frequent deposition of emperors weakened the central authority of the Mughal Empire. So yes, as after the death of Aurangzeb, after the year 1707, a series of incompetent rulers were there and weak emperors were there that ultimately weakened the central authority of the Mughal Empire. Also, the emperor control over the nobility, it got decreased, and ultimately they started conspiring. So this conspiracy was shown up first by the Sayyid brothers, as they were known as the kingmakers. So it was not a hereditary system anymore. It was pretty sort of a conspiracy kind of things, in which these Sayyid brothers had a very good hold. Okay, they were the kingmakers. So the first statement is absolutely true. Let us now see the second statement. The Sayyid brother introduced the Izara system to improve the financial management. Although the Izara system was there to improve the financial management, it was related to the revenue farming techniques, but it was never introduced by Sayyid brothers. Okay, this Izara system was introduced by Jahandar Shah. Okay, so this is an important point that you need to know, that the Jahandar Shah introduced the Izara system. So we will eliminate this second statement straight away. Okay, straight away we will come to the answer, that is 1, 3 and 4 are correct. Let us see the other options as well. With their support, Peshwa Balaji Vishwanath expanded Maratha influence in the Mughal territories. Obviously this is the correct statement. Next is the Sayyid brothers' control facilitated the rise of regional powers like Hyderabad and Bengal. Although, yes, this statement is absolutely true. Why it is true? Because after the decline of the Mughal Empire, there was rise in the regional states. So these regional states were of some type, few types. First was the successor state. So what were these successor states? That these were earlier a part of Mughal Empire, but it later they broke away. Some of the examples was Awadh. So this Awadh was established by Burhanul Mulk. His other name was Sadat Khan. Then this Bengal. Bengal was also a successor state. It was established by Murshid Quli Khan. It was established by Murshid Quli Khan. And then the state of Hyderabad. Now the state of Hyderabad was made by Nizamul Mulk. Nizamul Mulk, other name was Kilij Khan. Now this conspiracy led to the fragmentation of the states. So some of these were successor states. That was Awadh was also earlier a part of Mughal Empire. Bengal was also part of Mughal Empire, and Hyderabad was also a part of Mughal Empire. Awadh was founded by Burhanul Mulk. So the Sayyid brothers played a significant role in the rise of the regional powers. Okay, so rest 2 is incorrect, rest all of the options are correct. So 1, 3 and 4 is correct answer to this question. Let us now move to the next question. The next question is about identify the group from the following description which led to the Mughal Empire decline in 18th century. Now this class played a critical role in local administration and revenue collection. Over the time, they developed regional loyalties and supported the rise of the independent kingdoms. Their increasing power during the Aurangzeb region undermined the central Mughal authority. So the name of this class, the group was Zamindars. So who were the Zamindars? So Zamindars were the hereditary landowners. These were the hereditary landowners who collected revenue. They collected revenue from the peasants and helped in maintaining the local administration. Now, despite of collecting of revenues, they were also responsible for maintaining the soldiers. They maintained soldiers to assist in the law enforcement. Okay, so both of these work were done by these zamindars. Okay, so this you need to know. Now there was another class that zamindars हमने देख लिया, and you need to know about the jagirdars also. Now who were these jagirdars? Now these jagirdars were assigned the role of revenue collection. Okay, now in exchange of some of the service that they gave. Now they were also responsible for collecting revenues, and they also maintained the law and order in their area. Now these zamindars were the hereditary owners of the land, but the jagirdars, if I talk about the jagirdars, these jagirdars were not the hereditary landowners. Okay, now whoever did good performance, they were given the jagirdari, the powers under the jagirdari system. The position was not hereditary, which was there in the zamindari system. Okay, so this is the basic thing. Rest जैसे जैसे question आएंगे, we will discuss all of these. So correct answer to this question is zamindars. Okay, let us now move to the next question, that is question number 5. Now this question says that the issuance of farmans by the Mughal emperor played a critical role in shaping the trade dynamics of the 18th century. Consider the following statement regarding the farmans and their impact on the Mughal Empire. Now the farman issued by Farooq Siyar in the year 1717 granted the British East India Company duty-free trade rights in Bengal, Bihar and Odisha. So the statement is absolutely true. Okay, the Farman that was issued by Farooq Siyar gave the company duty-free trade rights in Bihar, Bengal and Odisha. ठीक है, नेक्स्ट स्टेटमेंट देखते हैं. नेक्स्ट स्टेटमेंट क्या है हमारा? द फरमान स्ट्रेंथेंड द मुगल एम्पायर फाइनेंशियल स्टेबिलिटी बाय इंकरेजिंग यूरोपियन ट्रेड अंडर फेवरेबल टर्म्स. Now, I already told you when I explained you about the Farmans which were issued during the time of Farooq Siyar, that it did not strengthen the financial stability of empire. Okay, it ultimately led to the instability. It led to the weakening of the financial system. In no condition they helped the Mughal Empire finances. Because these permissions that were gave by the Mughal Emperor were misused to a large extent. Okay, so the second statement is incorrect. Let us see here second statement को eliminate करके. So we are left with 1, 3 and 4. Let us see the 3 and 4 options as well. The Farmans granted to the British India directly contributed to the decline of Mughal Empire by allowing the East India Company to accumulate wealth and power. Yes, it is a self-explaining statement. बिल्कुल correct है. The Farmans restricted the influence of European trade companies by limiting their right to specific regions and commodity. Now, this is what I was telling you about. कि they didn't use their rights or the privileges that were given to the European companies to a limiting extent. They expanded, they used it in the larger areas with fewer restriction, and they undermined both the Mughal control and the local merchant control of India. दोनों के रोल, दोनों के प्रति जो उनकी जिम्मेदारी थी, they didn't care about these responsibilities, so they misuse these privileges. So the fourth one, this statement is also correct. The Farmans didn't restrict it, so this statement is also wrong. Correct answer हो जाएगा हमारा 1 and 3. A is the correct answer. Okay, let us now see the next question, that is question number 6. Now, which of the following statement correctly describe the causes and effect of the Jagirdari crisis during the Mughal decline? Now, the acute shortage of Jagirs. Now, I've already told you about the Jagirdari system, that this was a type of revenue collection system. Now, the Jagirdars were also supposed to maintain an army. Maintain an army matlab they maintain soldiers. For what purpose? For what purpose? For maintaining law and order. But this Jagirdari system or the Jagirdari rights were hereditary or not? No, these were not hereditary. These were based on the performance of the Jagirdars. Okay. But on the other hand, if we talk about the Zamindari system, so these were the ancient landlords, these were the former landlords that were assigned the responsibility of revenue collection. They also maintained an army, and the Zamindars were hereditary in nature. Okay, let us now see the statement regarding the Jagirdars. The acute shortage of Jagirdars forced nobles to extract inflated revenues. Yes, as the Jagirdars act as a link between the Mughal Empire and the peasants, so their shortage led to the nobility. So these nobility were the premium class of people that were in the court of the Mughal Empire. So ultimately they realized that there are no Jagirdars, so they just jumped in the market and they extracted inflated revenues from the peasants. Okay, and this inflated revenue made them change their mind and to betray their empire. So that is why it was the nobility. Sayyid brothers का हमने केस देखा. It was the nobility that led at the later stage the appointment of the Mughal Empire, and the emperors were important. Emperors were appointed, just like the Sayyid brothers are known as the kingmakers. Okay, so this statement is absolutely correct. The second statement is the crisis led to the frequent clashes among the nobility, reducing the central authority of the emperor. Self-explaining statement, absolutely correct. Now, third statement is Aurangzeb resolved the Jagirdari crisis by reallocating Jagirdars based on military performance, ensuring long-term stability. Although the Aurangzeb aimed and he attempted to manage the crisis of Jagirdari, but it was beyond his limits to control it, because this has spread just like an epidemic and it was not under the control of Aurangzeb. Okay, this crisis ultimately was one of the reasons for the decline of Mughal Empire. So he did not resolve. Okay, the third statement is incorrect. We will try to eliminate. Third statement we have eliminated. We know 1 and 2 is correct. Let us see the fourth option. The growing influence of the European traders along the coast further exaggerated the Jagirdari crisis by diverting resources away from the Mughal administration. So this statement is also self-explaining. So fourth one is also absolutely correct. Okay, so 1, 2 and 4 is correct. So I have not explained the fourth statement because I have given you a brief outline. Okay, so these statements are self-explaining. नाउ आपको हाईलाइट, आपको नोट क्या करना है कि यहाँ पे औरंगजेब रिजॉल्व द जागीरदारी क्राइसिस. अभी ये आपको पता होना चाहिए कि औरंगजेब ट्राइड टू रिजॉल्व बट दिस क्राइसिस वॉज नॉट रिजॉल्व. ओके, एंड इट वॉज वन ऑफ द रीजन्स वाई द डिक्लाइन ऑफ द एम्पायर वॉज देयर. ओके, so 1, 2 and 4 statement here is correct. So D is the right answer to this question. Let us now see the next question, that is question number 7. Now arrange the following event in the correct chronological order. Now Ranjit Singh captured Lahore. Now Ranjit Singh belonged, सबसे पहले he belonged to the Sikh empire, ये आपको पता होना चाहिए. Now there was a concept of misl, ये भी आपको पता होना चाहिए. And Ranjit Singh belonged to the 12th misl, that was known as, there were total 12 misl. Okay, not 12th, there were total 12th misl, and Ranjit Singh belonged to the Sukar Chakiya misl. The empire of the Ranjit Singh, it also included Srinagar and Lahore तो था ही उसमें. So these are some of the important points. Also at a later stage Ranjit Singh signed a tripartite agreement with whom? Tripartite agreement with British East India Company, then was the Afghans plus Ranjit Singh. So 3 of these signed in tripartite agreement. ठीक है, and this agreement was regarding Afghanistan. So these are the important points that you need to know about Ranjit Singh. Now Ranjit Singh captured Lahore in the year 1799. Okay, now if I talk about Hyder Ali has established his rule in Mysore. So Hyder Ali, as we known as the area of Mysore, so it was founded by the Hyder Ali only. ठीक है, now he rose to power in around 1760s के आसपास, तो 1760s इसको मानते हैं. Next is Surajmal extended Jat territory from Ganga to Chambal. Now the Jat state was a new state that was formed. Now Surajmal, Churan Singh, Badan Singh, these were all some of the prominent Jat leaders, and they had influence over area of south of Yamuna, present day Agra, Mathura etc. ये जो एरिया था, चंबल का एरिया, ग्वालियर का एरिया, these was the areas of the Jat leader. Okay, Jat empire. So the Jat empire reached its zenith during the Surajmal area, during the tenure of Surajmal. Now this Surajmal, it was in the year late 1765 when he extended these territory, and the Marathas uprooted Mughal authority in Marwa and Gujarat. So they also controlled the areas in around 1760s के. So this is a type of difficult question, but मैंने इसको इस तरीके से, ये क्वेश्चन ऐसा लिया गया है ताकि आपको पता होना चाहिए किनका इम्पैक्ट कहाँ पे था. ठीक है, आफ्टर हैदर अली आपको पता होना चाहिए इट वॉज टीपू सुल्तान, इंपॉर्टेंट रूलर ऑफ मैसूर डायनेस्टी. ठीक है, तो करेक्ट हमारा क्या हो जाएगा क्रोनोलॉजी? सबसे पहले हैदर अली ने इस्टेब्लिश किया था मैसूर में रूल, देन मराठाज अपरूटेड दी मुगल अथॉरिटी, रंजीत सिंह ने सबसे लेट 1799 में ही कैप्चर्ड लाहौर, एंड देन थर्ड इसमें क्या था? सूरजमल एक्सटेंडेड जाट टेरिटरीज. तो 7th का करेक्ट आंसर हमारा क्या हो जाएगा? 7th का करेक्ट आंसर हमारा बी हो जाएगा. ठीक है, जस्ट फॉर द डिफरेंस ये क्वेश्चन लिया मैंने. यू जस्ट नीड टू नो कि हाँ कौन सी चीज़ें किस चीज़ से रिलेटेड है. नेक्स्ट इज द मराठाज emerged as the most formidable challenge to the British East India Company in the struggle for supremacy in India. So absolutely correct है. Marathas, these emerged. Now after the third battle of Panipat, they suffered a massive defeat in the year 1761 by Ahmad Shah Abdali. Now जब भी इनकी defeat हुई, so there were various challenges ahead of them. For example, वेस्ट का जो एरिया था, वेस्टर्न इंडिया का जो एरिया था, दीज वेयर वेरी मच डिस्टर्ब। ओके, नाउ रीजन क्या है? आफ्टर थर्ड बैटल ऑफ पानीपत द मराठास क्विकली रिकवर्ड एंड री इस्टैब्लिश देयर डोमिनेंस ओवर मालवा एंड गुजरात। यस, ऑब्वियसली रीजन भी सही है, असर्शन भी सही है, सो बोथ ऑफ दिस इज एब्सोल्युटली करेक्ट। सो बोथ assertion and reason are true and R is the correct explanation of A. A हमारा correct answer होगा to question number 8. Let us now see the question number 9. Question number 9 क्या हमारा? Which of the following factors correctly describe the emergence of successor state during the decline of Mughal Empire and their impact on the empire? अभी कोई भी state अगर कोई भी empire अगर decline करेगा, so there must have been political reason, social reasons, economical reasons. सो जितने भी हमें जेनरिक स्टेटमेंट देखने को मिलेंगे वो सारे के सारे समवट रिलेटेड होंगे। लेट अस नाउ सी द सक्सेसर स्टेट्स लाइक अवध एंड बंगाल कंटिन्यू टू रिकॉग्नाइज मुगल एम्परर सोवरेनिटी बट ऑपरेटेड इंडिपेंडेंटली, फ्रेगमेंटिंग सेंट्रल कंट्रोल। यस, दिस इज एब्सोल्युटली करेक्ट। नाउ व्हेन द मुगल एम्पायर गॉट वीकेंड, इन्होंने ये जितने भी स्टेट्स थे अवध, बंगाल, हैदराबाद, इन्होंने ये डिसाइड किया था कि ये रिकॉग्नाइज करेंगे मुगल एम्पायर की सॉवरेनिटी को, कि दैट वी आर अंडर यू ओनली, मतलब मुगल एम्पायर ओनली, बट उनके फाइनेंसेस, उनको इंटरनल उनकी जो भी रिसोर्सेज थे, पॉलिसीज थी, एंड इंटरनल रेगुलेशन ऑफ देयर एम्पायर वॉज टू बी डन बाई देम ओनली। मुगल एम्पायर का इसमें कोई रोल नहीं होने वाला था। तो फर्स्ट स्टेटमेंट करेक्ट है। सेकेंड स्टेटमेंट देखते हैं। सक्सेसर स्टेट कंट्रीब्यूटेड टू द मुगल ट्रेजरी बाई पेइंग एन एनुअल ट्रिब्यूट स्टेबलाइजिंग इट्स फाइनेंसेस। नाउ ट्रिब्यूट्स तो बिल्कुल देते थे, एनुअल ट्रिब्यूट्स सक्सेसर स्टेट्स जो थे अवध का, बंगाल का, दे पेड द एनुअल ट्रिब्यूट्स टू द मुगल ट्रेजरी, बट ये स्टेबलाइज नहीं कर पाए थे फाइनेंसेस इन द लॉन्ग टर्म। ओके, क्योंकि अगर स्टेबलाइज होता तो मुगल एम्पायर वुडेंट हैव एंडेड, ठीक है ना, क्योंकि मच मोर देन फाइनेंसेस पॉलिटिकल रीजंस भी थे। द क्राइसिस ऑफ जागीरदारी which we have discussed in the above question, the crisis of जागीरदारी was also there, and then ultimately political influence, the farmans that were provided by the Mughal emperor to the British East India Company, the European companies से जो challenge मिल रहा था, that was also a reason, and incompetent rulers of the Mughal empire, these was also among one of the reasons. So stabilize finance नहीं हो पाए थे। सेकेंड स्टेटमेंट हमारा इनकरेक्ट है। Let us see the third statement. The independent functioning of successor states weakened Mughal military strength by diverting resources and manpower from the center. Absolutely generic statement है। The successor state maintained the Mughal administrative framework, preventing total administrative collapse in their region, as the internal regulation of these states was done by the successor states only. मुगल का सेंट्रल कंट्रोल नहीं था, तो they were able to prevent themselves from collapsing। ठीक है, तो हमारा सेकेंड स्टेटमेंट यहाँ इनकरेक्ट है, बाकी सारे के सारे स्टेटमेंट हमारे यहाँ पे करेक्ट है। करेक्ट आंसर हमारा बी हो जाएगा। ठीक है, लेट अस नाउ मूव टू द नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन। Now, with reference to the Indian history, consider the following events. The Battle of Khanwa was among the earliest battles in India where the gunpowder was used to a great extent. Now, yes, Battle of Khanwa, सबसे पहले you need to know that Battle of Khanwa was fought in 1527. Now, who fought the Battle of Khanwa? Babur versus Rana Sanga, in which Rana Sanga was defeated by Babur. And Babur in India is known to introduce the use of gunpowder bee, and the use of cannon was also introduced by Babur only. So the statement is absolutely correct. Second is, in the Battle of Bayana, the Mughal army led by Babur defeated the Rajput alliance force under the command of Rana of Mewar. So the Battle of Bayana was led by the Rajput army, Rajputs and Afghans के अगेंस्ट हुआ था। ठीक है, राजपूत अगेंस्ट मुगल्स हुआ था। राजपूत आर्मी वॉज लेड बाय राणा सांगा। ठीक है, and Babur sent a Mughal contingent and ultimately defeated Rana Sanga। ठीक है, सो द सेकेंड स्टेटमेंट हमारा इनकरेक्ट है, ठीक है। ये भी बैटल 1527 में हुआ था, 1527 के लेटर हाफ में हुआ था। सो द स्टेटमेंट इज करेक्ट, इनकरेक्ट। राणा ऑफ मेवाड़ नहीं, राणा सांगा है, ठीक है। So second statement is incorrect. Let us see the third statement. In the Battle of Jodhpur in 1707, Durgadas Rathod and Ajit Singh seized Jodhpur and evicted the Mughals out of Marwar. Now this is absolutely correct. 1707 में Battle of Jodhpur हुआ था and it was done औरंगजेब के टेन्योर पे हुआ था, बस आपको इतना याद रखना है, इससे ज़्यादा नहीं, ठीक है। फोर्थ स्टेटमेंट देखते हैं। द सीज ऑफ चित्तौड़गढ़ फोर्ट बाई अकबर वॉज मोटिवेटेड बाई द पॉलिटिकल इंपॉर्टेंस ऑफ चित्तौड़ एज अ स्टेबल रूट टू मालवा एंड गुजरात एंड फॉर फर्दर इनरोड्स टू डेक्कन। तो एब्सोल्युटली सेल्फ एक्सप्लेनिंग स्टेटमेंट है ये, कुछ भी इसमें अलग नहीं है, कुछ भी इसमें यूनिक नहीं है। फोर्थ स्टेटमेंट भी हमारा करेक्ट है। जस्ट आपको रेफरेंस होना चाहिए किसके टाइम पे कौन सा बैटल हुआ, जस्ट कि कौन कहाँ पे एक्सपैंड किया, ठीक है। पॉलिटिकल इन्फ्लुएंस जस्ट फॉर द सेक ऑफ नोइंग सो दैट यू कैन सॉल्व दिस क्वेश्चंस, ठीक है। सो हमारा ये स्टेटमेंट भी एब्सोल्युटली करेक्ट है। करेक्ट आंसर हमारा क्या हो जाएगा, करेक्ट आंसर हो जाएगा हमारा सी। सेकंड स्टेटमेंट हमने एलिमिनेट कर दिया, 1, 3 एंड 4 इज करेक्ट। लेट अस नाउ मूव टू दी नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन। कंसिडर द फॉलोइंग स्टेटमेंट रिगार्डिंग द इजारा लैंड रेवेन्यू सिस्टम। नाउ वी हैव टू मेंशन द इनकरेक्ट, यस इनकरेक्ट स्टेटमेंट हमें मेंशन करना है यहाँ पे। सो देखते हैं। The Izara was a revenue collection system introduced by British during their rule in India. No भाई, ये मैंने पहले ही बताया था। The Izara system was introduced by Jahandar Shah, ठीक है, not the British. So the first statement is incorrect. Second is Izara was based on leasing of lands and collection of revenue in the form of rent. Absolutely correct. Now the Izara system was widely popular in the northern and the western region of India. No, it was not. It was not that much popular in northern and western India because it was very inconsistent. लैंड को जो लीज किया जाता था, इट वॉज वेरी इनकन्सिस्टेंट, सो इट वॉज नॉट वेरी पॉपुलर, इसीलिए ज़्यादा चल नहीं पाया। नेक्स्ट इज द इजारा सिस्टम रिजल्टेड इन इंक्रीज रेवेन्यू कलेक्शन फॉर ब्रिटिश गवर्नमेंट एंड रिड्यूस द बर्डन ऑन द कल्टिवेटर्स। अभी मुझे ये बताओ, मिडेवल टू मॉडर्न टाइम्स में इतने टैक्सेस हमने देखे हैं, एक भी टैक्स का मुझे नाम बताओ जिसने कि बर्डन कल्टिवेटर से कम किया हो। कोई भी नहीं है, ठीक है, क्योंकि द पर्पस ऑफ रेवेन्यू, द पर्पस ऑफ imposing tax on revenue was to maximize the profits, maximize the taxes for maximize the revenue of the empire. उनका कोई लेना देना नहीं था कल्टिवेटर से, ठीक है। इट वॉज इन फैक्ट a method to exploit. It was a method which led to the economic distress among the rural populations. So the fourth statement भी हमारा incorrect है, थर्ड स्टेटमेंट भी इनकरेक्ट था, फर्स्ट स्टेटमेंट भी इनकरेक्ट था। हमें बताना है इस क्वेश्चन में विच ऑफ दीज स्टेटमेंट्स आर इनकरेक्ट। तो 1, 3 एंड 4 इनकरेक्ट है, सेकंड स्टेटमेंट वाज करेक्ट। विच वाज द सेकंड स्टेटमेंट, कि इट वाज बेस्ड ऑन लीजिंग ऑफ लैंड्स एंड कलेक्शन ऑफ रेवेन्यू इन फॉर्म ऑफ रेंट, ठीक है। Let us now move to the next question. Now, next question क्या है हमारा? Consider the following statement about the 18th century India. What we have to say? We have to mark the correct options here. Now, the first statement is the life of Indian peasants deteriorated more under British rule than in the 18th century, despite agricultural stagnation during this period. Now, this statement is absolutely correct, ठीक है, क्योंकि जब मुगल्स थे, ठीक है, उनका रोल क्या था, दे वेयर हेयर इन इंडिया, उनका रोल 400 अराउंड 300 ईयर्स का हो चुका था, एंड दे हैड टू मैक्सिमाइज द वेलफेयर ऑफ द पीपल टू सम एक्सटेंट ऑल्सो, एंड उनको रूल करने आए थे वो। दे वेयर नॉट हेयर फॉर एनी कमर्शियल पर्पसेज। बट इफ आई टॉक अबाउट ब्रिटिश रूल इन इंडिया, दे केम टू इंडिया एज अ ट्रेडिंग कंपनी एंड देयर मेन एम वॉज टू मैक्सिमाइज द प्रॉफिट्स so that company exist कर पाए। so it was the reason, लेने तो वो स्पाइसेस आए थे इंडिया से, ओपियम लेने आए थे, सिल्क लेने आए थे, बट दे एंडेड अप एक्सट्रैक्टिंग मोर एंड मोर रॉ कॉटन, देन कमर्शियल क्रॉप्स। इतना ज़्यादा बर्डन लगा दिया, इकोनॉमिक इम्पैक्ट जो था ब्रिटिश रूल का, they introduced the permanent settlement, they introduced the Ryotwari system, they introduced the Mahalwari system during the later times. So बहुत ज़्यादा कंडीशन ख़राब हो गई, एंड विच द एग्रीकल्चरल प्रोडक्ट्स दैट वे प्रोड्यूस्ड इन इंडिया ड्यूरिंग द वॉर्स दैट वे एक्सपोर्टेड फ्रॉम इंडिया, ब्रिटिश रूल उसको एक्सपोर्ट कर देता था. तो अल्टीमेटली इट लेड टू द स्टेग्नेशन. हमारे मिडेवल एरा में द कंडीशन ऑफ द पीजेंट्री, द कंडीशन ऑफ द इंडियन पीजेंट्स वॉज बेटर देन दैट ऑफ द ब्रिटिश रूल. ठीक है, तो फर्स्ट स्टेटमेंट बिल्कुल करेक्ट है. नेक्स्ट इज the shipbuilding industry in Bengal declined significantly in the 18th century due to lack of skilled labor and materials. Now 18th century में नहीं हुआ था ये, डिक्लाइन तो हुआ था, बट इट डिक्लाइंड व्हेन द यूरोपियंस केम. ठीक है, इट डिक्लाइंड व्हेन द यूरोपियंस केम ड्यूरिंग द ब्रिटिश एरा के डोमिनेंस के टाइम पे, 1900s के टाइम पे हुआ था ये. Second statement is wrong. Let us see the third statement. India was a net exporter of goods in the 18th century with its balance of trade often maintained through the inflow of gold and silver. Yes, India had a trade balance. India को सोने की चिड़िया बोला जाता था. ठीक है, ऐसे ही नहीं बोला जाता था. Statement is self-explanatory. Absolutely correct. Next is the education system in 18th century India lacked focus on physical sciences and technology but included elementary education for all castes including वुमेन. ठीक है, अभी बात तो सही है, बट अगर आपने ये लास्ट लाइन नहीं पढ़ी तो आप इसको गलत कर दोगे. द स्टेटमेंट इज इनकरेक्ट. वाई दिस इज इनकरेक्ट? बिकॉज एलिमेंट्री एजुकेशन वॉज वाइड स्प्रेड बट फॉर नॉट फॉर ऑल कास्टेज बट फॉर बॉयज. एंड कहाँ पे होती थी ये? पाठशालाज हिंदूज पढ़ते थे, मदरसाज मुस्लिम्स पढ़ते थे. एंड दिस एलिमेंट्री एजुकेशन का स्प्रेड, इट rarely included women and it rarely included children from lower caste. It did not. ठीक है, it also included physical science technology but वो सबके लिए नहीं था. तो फोर्थ स्टेटमेंट भी हमारा इनकरेक्ट है. ठीक है, हमारा करेक्ट आंसर क्या हो जाएगा? 1 and 3 स्टेटमेंट हमारा करेक्ट है. अगर हम फोर्थ को एलिमिनेट भी कर देते हैं तो वी विल डायरेक्टली कम टू आवर आंसर, दैट इज 1 and 3. आई होप दिस इज अंडरस्टूड. लेट अस नाउ सी द नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन. Question number: which of the following statement about the 18th century's India trade and industry are correct? Now, India was a net importer of good, balancing its trade deficit with foreign loans. अब बताओ ये क्वेश्चन सही है क्या? यहाँ से ही तो ऐसे ही क्वेश्चन तो मैंने ऊपर आपको बताया था. इंडिया वॉज नॉट अ नेट इम्पोर्टर बट अ नेट एक्सपोर्टर, एंड इन मेजोरिटी द प्रोडक्ट्स दैट इंडिया इम्पोर्टेड वॉज गोल्ड एंड सिल्वर. बाकी सब तो इंडिया हमारा एक्सपोर्ट करता था. ठीक है, सो द स्टेटमेंट इज इनकरेक्ट. हमें बताना क्या है? वी हैव टू सी द करेक्ट स्टेटमेंट. तो 1 तो डायरेक्टली एलिमिनेट हो गया. 2, 3 एंड 3, 4 ऑप्शन है. लेट अस सी. द शिप बिल्डिंग इंडस्ट्री इन बंगाल, महाराष्ट्र, आंध्रा फ्लरिश्ड एंड इंडियन शिप्स वर परचेज्ड बाय द यूरोपियन कंपनीज. येस, एब्सोल्युटली करेक्ट. द शिप बिल्डिंग इंडस्ट्री वॉज एट बून एंड इट डिक्लाइंड. अगर डिक्लाइन भी हुई थी तो वो ब्रिटिश डोमिनेंस के टाइम पे हुई थी, नॉट व्हेन दीज यूरोपियन कंपनीज, व्हेन द फ्रेंच, व्हेन द पोर्टुगीज, व्हेन द डच, व्हेन द डेन्स केम. The industry flourished at that time. Second statement is correct. Now, Indian textile, especially fine muslin, were globally renowned and were exported to Europe, Turkey and China. Absolutely correct. ठीक है. Fourth option, the Zamorin of Calicut relied on European expertise to maintain his naval fleet. No. The ruler of Zamorin, Zamorin का नाम आपने सुना होगा. Who is Zamorin? The Zamorin was the ruler at a time when Vasco da Gama came to India. अगर आपने फर्स्ट चैप्टर नहीं देखा है तो यू शुड नो. 1498 में. एंड ही हैड नेवल फ्लीट ऑफ हिज ओन. ही डिडंट रिलाइड ऑन द यूरोपियन एक्सपर्ट्स. ठीक है, क्योंकि कैलिकट वॉज ऑन द वेस्टर्न शोर ऑफ आवर इंडिया. ठीक है, तो जमोरिन हैड इट्स नेवल आर्मी ऑफ इट्स ओन. पोर्तुगीज में भी 1498 में वास्को डी गामा केम टू इन इंडिया. ठीक है, तब तक क्यों जमोरिन कोई बैठा थोड़ी रहेगा वहाँ पे यूरोपियन एक्सपर्टाइज की वेट करते हो. ठीक है, ही हैड हिज नेवी ऑफ इट्स ओन. ठीक है, फोर्थ स्टेटमेंट इज ऑल्सो इनकरेक्ट. तो 4 हमने एलिमिनेट कर दिया, 1 हमने एलिमिनेट कर दिया. करेक्ट आंसर हमारा 2 and 3 है. ठीक है, लेट अस नाउ सी द नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन. Which of the following factors contributed to India's economic stagnation in 18th century? Now इतना हमने अभी पढ़ा है, जेनेरिक तरीके से जेनेरिक स्टेटमेंट देखते हैं. एक्सप्लॉयटेटिव रेवेन्यू सिस्टम इम्पोज बाय द जमींदार एंड जागीरदार, एब्सोल्युटली करेक्ट. कोलैप्स था जागीरदारी सिस्टम का. देन नोबिलिटी केम इन एंड नोबिलिटी स्टार्टेड टू एक्सट्रैक्ट मोर एंड मोर टैक्सेस, तो ऑब्वियसली दिस वाज द रीज़न. सेकेंड वन इज द डिक्लाइन इन ग्लोबल डिमांड फॉर इंडियन टेक्सटाइल. अभी इंडियन टेक्सटाइल की डिमांड तो कभी कम हुई ही नहीं, एंड दिस इज़ द रीज़न वाई. अभी हमने पढ़ा भी कि इंडिया वॉज अ नेट एक्सपोर्टर ऑफ द गुड्स. तो अगर एक्सपोर्टर है, अगर कोई सामान आप एक्सपोर्ट कर रहे हो, इसका मतलब है कि उसकी डिमांड भी है. तो डिक्लाइन कैसे हो गई डिमांड? ठीक है. द डिक्लाइन ऑल्सो हैपेंड इन द डिमांड आफ्टर द ब्रिटिश डोमिनेंस. After the Industrial Revolution, the manufactured goods from the British started to penetrate India, and the fine made British goods were imposed. They were no duty was there that was prevailed on this British bit. Manchester goods जिनको बोलते थे, no duty was imposed on them, and they were induced in the Indian market, and straight away the Indian textile market collapsed. ठीक है. जैसे आज की डेट में the governments used to apply these anti-dumping duties and all, various type of tariffs are applied. just like example अभी इंडिया एंड यूएसए के रिस्पेक्ट में देखें, सो देयर इज़ अ ट्रेड टसल दैट यूएसए इज़ प्रेशरिंग इंडिया, यूएसए इज़ ट्राइंग टू एक्सपोज इंडिया. सबके सामने एक्सपोज करने की कोशिश कर रहा है यूएसए की इतने ज़्यादा हाई टैरिफ्स हैं इंडिया में, तो क्यों ना हो. हम डेवलपिंग कंट्री हैं, हमारी कंट्री एक डेवलपिंग कंट्री है, एंड वी नीड टू सिक्योर आवर मार्केट्स. अगर हमने अपनी मार्केट को एक्सपोज कर दिया, ठीक है. RCEP वॉज एन एग्रीमेंट विच वॉज इन न्यूज़ इन द ईयर 2021. वहाँ पे इंडिया ने साइन नहीं किया ड्यू टू इट्स एप्रीहेंशंस रिगार्डिंग द डेयरी सेक्टर. वाई? क्योंकि न्यूजीलैंड ऑस्ट्रेलिया का बहुत ज़्यादा प्रोमिनेंट है डेयरी कल्चर. ठीक है. अगर वो अपने प्रोडक्ट इंड्यूस कर देंगे इंडियन मार्केट में, तो इतनी बड़ी जो इंडियन डेयरी मार्केट है वो तो ख़त्म हो जाएगी. एंड दिस इज़ द रीज़न उस टाइम पे ब्रिटिश इंडिया ने क्या किया, जब ही इंडस्ट्रियल रिवॉल्यूशन हुई, सो दे मैसिवली स्टार्टेड टू, मशीन्स वे मेड एंड दे मैसिवली स्टार्टेड टू मेक द मैन्युफैक्चर्ड गुड्स. द प्रोडक्ट्स, the raw material was exported from India, material was exported from China, and final goods were made, and these final goods were introduced at minimal cost, the cost that was similar or even lower to the Indian markets. So then during the British times, this global demand for the Indian textile collapsed. ठीक है. सो पहले तो नहीं था, 18th सेंचुरी में तो नहीं था. सेकेंड स्टेटमेंट हमारा इनकरेक्ट है. तो सेकेंड वन वी विल एलिमिनेट स्ट्रेट अवे. 1, 3, 4 तो यहीं से आंसर आ गया. बट लेट अस सी द अदर ऑप्शंस एज वेल. लैक ऑफ टेक्नोलॉजिकल एडवांसमेंट इन एग्रीकल्चर, ऑब्वियसली दिस, तो ये तो वो रीज़न था ही. नेक्स्ट इज over reliance on ancient knowledge in education, neglecting physical sciences and technology. Yes, this was too provided for the boys only. The boys or the boys from the lower classes were exempted. Women were also not taught very well. So these were तो obviously the reasons. ठीक है. तो हमारा करेक्ट आंसर क्या हो जाएगा? बी हो जाएगा यहाँ पे. ठीक है. Let us now see the next question. Now India in 18th century was a global leader in textile production and shipbuilding. तो obviously मैंने अभी आपको बताया, बिल्कुल करेक्ट है. ठीक है. The shipbuilding industry was very prominent in Bengal. It was very prominent in Maharashtra. It was very prominent in Andhra region. This textile industry was very prominent in Bengal, Gujarat, Tamil Nadu. ठीक है. And Europeans also purchased these ships. So ये तो सही है बिल्कुल. Next is the decline of Mughal Empire and the rise of regional power led to the stagnation of Indian industries. ठीक है. दो बार बता चुका हूँ, मुगल एम्पायर के टाइम पे डिक्लाइन नहीं हुआ था. इट वॉज ड्यूरिंग द टाइम ऑफ ब्रिटिश डोमिनेंस, जब दे डायरेक्टली इंटर्ड द मार्केट इन विच द लोकल मैन्युफैक्चरिंग सेक्टर वॉज वेरी प्रोमिनेंट. वहाँ पे ये ब्रिटिश फोर्सेज एंटर की, एंड इन्होंने अपनी मार्केट सेट करने के लिए इंडियन मार्केट्स को, इंडियन प्रोडक्शन को डिस्ट्रॉय किया. So decline of Mughal Empire and rise of regional powers was never a reason. So हमारा यहाँ पे reason absolutely false है, but assertion true है. ठीक है. So with this हमारा ये थोड़ा सा conceptual chapter था, ज़्यादा कुछ learn करने को नहीं था इसमें, बट आई हैव ट्राइड टू सम अप, आई हैव ट्राइड टू एक्सप्लेन यू दिस सोशल इकोनॉमिक एस्पेक्ट्स ऑफ दिस चैप्टर. सो अगर अच्छी लगी हो तो डू लाइक दिस वीडियो, कमेंट भी करना कमेंट सेक्शन में, ठीक है, एंड बताना वीडियो कैसी लगी. टिल देन कीप स्टडिंग. थैंक यू.